Hey everyone, Dennis Chang here. Today should be the second day of December, and as you are watching this, I should be in Tokyo at the moment. Yes, I live in Japan now. Because I am leaving very, very soon, I already packed up my Martin Tremblay guitar, and I'm lucky enough to be able to borrow this amazing guitar built by Josh Greenberg of Larkspur Lutherie or something like that. Yeah, you can see the logo right here. Yeah, Josh Greenberg. It's an amazing F-hole guitar. He's a young up-and-coming luthier here based in Montreal, originally from the west coast of Canada. So check him out. I still love my Martin Tremblay though. They're both great guitars. I should also let you know that DC Music School is having its end of year sale. So if you want to support me, you can buy something off of DC Music School, or you can check out stuff that I have on SoundSlice. You can buy music on Bandcamp, whatever. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and all that. So basically, at the beginning of the year, a new publishing company from the UK messaged me about writing a book, and I suggested a gypsy jazz picking book. Because the last book that was written, I guess, 20 years ago, and it's a nice book, but there's some information missing. And in my opinion, there is no book out there that really accurately describes the evolution of the technique, the history of the technique as it applies to gypsy jazz guitar. And on December 6th, there will be a promo event, what they call a soft launch, where they've asked me to do a live workshop over Zoom. You'll find all the details in the description box or in the comments. I'll pin a comment or something. And you'll find all the information you need to know about where to buy the book or how they're going to promote it. I don't know. They're taking care of all that. I just wrote the book. And I'm quite proud of it because in the book, I'm not teaching you how to learn this technique. I'm explaining to you why people use this technique, the specific reasons why we play a certain way. I explain all the different variations that exist in the technique because there are many variations. Not everyone plays the same way. And there we go. It's the book is quite text heavy, so I also requested that at some point, if the book is successful enough, that they have it translated to different languages, namely French, en français, and Japanese, Nihongo. The text is really quite important because a lot of people tend to adopt a quote-unquote dogmatic approach to the technique, when in fact all the best players that use this technique kind of learn this technique naturally. They weren't told, oh, you have to have this degree, this angle, downstroke here, upstroke here, rest stroke here. No, a lot of this was learned by instinct, by training their ears to hear a certain sound and then being able to execute it. And of course, a lot of them grew up within the same community, so they could see each other using more or less variations of the same technique. Some people will have a wider angle, less of an angle, some like this, some like that, etc. Boom, boom, boom. And all of these are valid, and I explained the pros and cons to all these different things. So I think rather than it being a method book, it's actually kind of a reference book to give you ideas. But of course, I go into detail if you want to adopt like what people call a very pure version of the technique, which admittedly even I myself don't always necessarily use. As I've said in previous videos, because a lot of players develop their technique in this kind of self-taught way, different players will have their own, idiosyncrasies. Some people, you'll notice, do things quote-unquote inefficiently, yet they still managed to make it work. So keep in mind all of this as you work through the book, that I'm kind of showing you things in a quote-unquote textbook academic like perfect way, but it's certainly possible to do things your own way at your own discretion. But if you follow the guidance of the book, then you should be able to develop a quote-unquote correct technique and have a full understanding of why you even use this technique in the first place. And in the book, you have like quite a lot of recorded playing examples. And what I did is I chose tempos that were kind of a little bit up there, but not too high. And the reason for that is to show you just, how far you can go with the technique. I chose tempos that were kind of up there, but that I could execute without having to warm up too much. So basically, I spent an entire afternoon recording all, I think, 138 playing examples or whatever. You'll find licks, all the different scenarios that you might encounter, the quote-unquote problematic scenarios, and how to find solutions and all that. So there we go, my Gypsy Jazz picking book. I think, well, it's the best of its kind. There we go. That's the promotion for my book. I'm pretty excited that I want to show you also a few more things. I want to show you this nice phrase that I came up with. It's based on something that Brady Winterstein played on DC Music School, so you can check that out. I modified it a little bit. It goes over B7 to E7 to A minor. And it has like what we call a pickup phrase that's happening over A minor. So the chord progression will go like this. Cadence. So it starts on the A minor. It's like a pickup line. So the actual chords that the line is outlining is B7, E7, but it will also work over 2 bars of E7. So you can do this over minor swing, douce ambiance, minor blues, a whole bunch of songs where you have 2 bars of a dominant chord, because it's that concept that I often talk about in my previous videos, this whole idea of what do I call that? Harmonic direction. It's the idea that we don't necessarily have to imply the chord that the rhythm section is playing. We can add different chords, different pathways, and as long as we do it smoothly and we resolve properly, it will work. And so this is something that a lot of jazz musicians use. So the phrase is quite difficult. Number of ways to pick it. I think the way I'm doing it is like this. Start on beat 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1. So that's on 1. It goes like this. I do down, up, down, down, and it's all triplets. Up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down. This is hard. Down, double down. Then, so here, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it together one more time, slower. 1, 2, 3. At the end there, you might have seen me change my pick strokes because it's much slower, but the fast part I did with the correct pick strokes. And if it goes even faster, you can practice it with slurs. guitar slurs, not the ethnic kind. So we go like this: down, hammer, up, down, up, down, down, up. The same thing. Pretty much the same thing until you get here. Down, pull off, up, and then that's it. This allows you to avoid the double down. So it's a pretty cool phrase, right? So check it out. Also check out In the Style of Brady Winterstein. I think he plays this on Douce Ambiance. When it goes A flat, D7, but he's thinking A7. Again, it's the whole idea of harmonic direction. And another thing I would like to say, by the way, this is a wonderful guitar. This is an Altamira Model M that was sent to me by Django Guitars, Tommy Davey of Django Guitars. This is one of the best, well, in my opinion, the best budget gypsy jazz guitar you can find. And when Tommy sets it up, it's a gem. And these strings, believe it or not, are 4 years old. Like I said, my Martin Tremblay is all packed up, ready to go to Japan. Anyway, the one thing I want to talk about is sound. That's something I talk a lot about in the book, and I talk a lot about in my videos. Sound is super important because in this style of music, it's all in your fingers. And the different sounds you can get. Okay, in previous videos, you've heard me talk about playing here, here, right? But even if you stay in the same position, let's say roughly around here, you can get different sounds as well. Just by the way you strike the strings and the angle with which you strike the strings. So you have to experiment a little bit. Everyone's hands and fingers are different, but I do it by slightly changing the, I guess, the angle of my thumb to get different results. See, listen. All right, that's a nice smooth tone. But now I can get a punchier tone without having to go here by slightly changing the angle, but also the way I strike the strings, the speed at which I strike the strings. Getting that snap, which can sometimes be very desirable. And then you combine it with picking closer to the bridge, and you get that kind of old school gypsy sound. Because as I said in one of my previous videos, the whole point about playing music, believe it or not, this is scientifically proven, it's all about playing fast. Fast equals emotion. More important than religion, family, friends. It's all about playing fast. Now I realize different people from all over the world watch my videos, and I've come to realize in certain cultures sarcasm does not exist. So that was a joke. I remember being in a country, it was pouring rain, and I said to my friends, "Wow, such nice weather, right?" And my friend said, "What are you talking about? It's raining." So there we go. Anyway, I hope you guys will check out my book. I'm really looking forward to releasing it. Woohoo!